What a lovely bunch of trouble-making women. Room full of us. My name's Kirsty Fraser. I'm not really sure why I kind of get asked to speak to these things, because I don't write letters, I just tweet a lot, and I just get blocked by a lot of MSPs and councillors, and so then I just make up other Twitter accounts and just start for there. But I was telling someone earlier, my son lives in Mary Hunter's constituency, and I said to him, start your tweet with, I'm a constituent. And I found out it works. She's not blocked him. So I'm just sitting telling him what to write. So I'm from a scheme, and for anybody not from, I don't know if you call them schemes everywhere else in Scotland, or whether you call them estates. Schemes, right. So I'm from a scheme, and I kind of talk about scheme feminism because I've, holding my hands up, haven't read a lot of feminist books. I've been a lot of meetings and things, but if you say to me first wave, second wave, I start going demi wave, tidal wave, wave. I haven't read a lot of books, but amongst the schemes, there is some of the strongest feminists ever. They just don't self-ID as feminists. So what you have is women who are getting up every day and getting on with it. They couldn't tell you who the Prime Minister is. They couldn't tell you who's in charge of the cabinet. They don't have an interest in politics. And that's the frustrating part, because the women in the schemes are often the women most affected by political choices in this country, but they don't have the encouragement to take an interest. So I campaigned for council for the Alba party up in the Lynn ward in Castlemilk, and Denise Finlay, there she is, was my she was basically like my pusher, if that's the right word. She directed me in what to do, because I don't have a clue about politics. And she was saying, right, this is what you do, and this is what you say, and this is how. And I was kind of like, right. So then what happened was, every morning we all met in McDonald's, and there was 4 wee guys who were unionists. And she kept saying to me, stop wasting your time with them, stop wasting, you're not going to get their vote. And I was like, I will, I'm going to get these wee guys' votes. So every day I went in and I started talking to them. And I was like, do you think I'm going to go into Glasgow City Chambers if you vote me in and shout, freedom, I'm getting us independence? No, I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, aye, your streets are a mess. Aye, get the repairs done, get this done. So they eventually did vote for me. They spoiled their ballot by writing, I am voting for the big heavy lassie. But they spoiled their ballot. So anyway, I knew it was for me, because one of them was a tranny, one of them was a Labour guy, and the other one was, I don't know what he was actually, he was SNP. He wore a lot of makeup, but he was a man. Oh, I don't know. So then we've got to a situation where, you're hearing in the schemes, reform's the only way to go. Shove your independence, reform's the only way to go. And you're sitting saying, right, what is it that's attracting people to reform? Now, no offence to anybody that lives in a leafy suburb, but I call you the leafy suburb brigade. In the schemes, we are having whole buildings taken over by single immigrant men. Now, this is a really difficult subject, and it's a difficult subject for politicians to speak about. I'm not a politician, so I'm going to speak about it. So what you've got is people already on the edge. Now, whether that is in a country, their language isn't English, then you've got schemes full of people, a lot of single mums, a lot of young girls. These guys have got cultural differences, and there's certain behaviours going on. And women are scared. Now, there's a lady here that I want to speak to, Turf Warrior. I don't know where she is. But she's been doing a lot of TikTok videos trying to get somewhere to hold a women's meeting to say, right, how do we legally defend ourselves in these situations? Because it's not being reported in the press, but there is a growing number of attacks on women in Glasgow, and nobody's talking about it. So this is where reform, in the eyes of a lot of women, are coming along with an answer. We're going to listen to you. We're going to stop immigration. And I think we need to find out why our politicians, our elected members of Parliament, aren't standing up and saying, we need to start talking about this, we need to start reporting this. Because as Pam said earlier, if it wasn't for the women out there, she wouldn't have had the courage. And I think we have to start speaking openly about things like immigration, like